Now, also what I want to do is show you like what I'm thinking right now. Like we're back in this kind of consolidation zone between 2400 and 2200. But I'm very worried about this. Like if we get a weekly close below 2222, this is where I was like looking at the bottoms of these candles. So those, if I get a close that's down below those, I'm gonna figure on it going down and testing that support again, which is gonna be probably about right here time wise on the x-axis. It's probably gonna hit right here. And that means that it's about far enough to be one of these kind of iterations. You can see it's like boom, 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 boom. And I just think that that's not a good, like you're get a big giant head here and then a little smaller shoulder. So what you're gonna have is probably a lower low. Like it's gonna break down right here and have a lower high and a lower low. And that means the negative trend officially has formed. Not only has this, also this diagonal trend line failed. It's broken. It went through it right here. And now you have a lower high after that broken mini trend line. Now, when we zoom out, like the long term trend is still like it's still intact. Like this is still fine, but I mean, it's not fine. It's looking a little scary to me, I guess, is what I'm saying, but it's not an established downtrend yet either. So, what I'm thinking is that I want to well, I'm 75% out here, and I like 50% is right here. So I have, for me, all this space that I can wait for it to come up, and I can get my money in right where I took it out. You know, I can get my yeah, I'm risking 25% of my money. It's going to go up without me because I'm not going to buy it if it goes a little higher. I'm just going to wait and see does it clear this top and close above 2350. If it does, I'll put that 25% back in and I'll have lost a little bit of gain right there. Like I won't have made that money, but I won't have lost the cash. So that's a part where I'm willing to risk because I believe it's likely to hit this 2200 and test the lower and probably break down quite a bit lower and then probably not come up as high as this. And I mean, it could be just it could also be that it comes down, touches, forms like this nice double bottom, goes up even higher, and we get like a kind of a megaphone formation out of this structure. So I just don't know, right? Like I'm not saying I know that it's going to go down. That's why, but right now I feel 75% chance it's going to go down lower and maybe a 25% chance that it probably could bounce around a little bit first, but I believe it's going to come lower. Feel like this circle is forming like through here. This like other shoulder. You could be like left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And yeah, that's my thought process. Like I saved a lot of money selling here and avoiding that I can lose a little bit right here and get my 25% back in and wait for another break to get my money back in up here. Because it's not about making extra money when I sell up here to try to get in lower and make this other gain. It's about protecting what I have. And it's just saying, like, take a look. I never made trades all year. I haven't traded anything in 2023 either. I mean, beyond this in 2022. I really literally haven't touched my account other than to claim that prime. So like I went through all these dips where I was like, no, it's still like recovering. But like now we've gone so far that I feel like it's gone pretty far. Um, that like, we've been climbing for a while. This could easily be a time where this trend breaks down. And I mean, it hasn't. Like, if you look at the long term view, this trend hasn't broken yet. But I just think it's due to come down, down to like that 2000 resistance support level, another couple hundred points. And then I do think this was like a very explosive top. It could easily turn into a top like this top was, where it was like, okay, yeah, we want to go up. Like this was the bottom, but like it doesn't mean it's gonna not come all the way almost back to it and trace it down again. So this could come further, much further, maybe even close to this one. It could even break that trend line a little bit and then come up, like fake out at 1500 and put a nice tail on that and then go all the way back up to like here. That could be a pattern. I don't think it will go that low unless we're really in a like turned into another bear market. I just don't see another bear market really happening if we're getting massive inflation. But I don't try to speculate as much as I'm trying to just say this is what I'm seeing it's doing right now, and what are the probabilities of the next leg of the move. And I think the next leg is down, but um, I'm prepared to like get my money back in where it goes up into a certain level higher, where I feel like it's closing higher than this, then I'm comfortable again. So those are my thoughts on this market right now. I do look in the long term, I do look at this weekly chart a lot. This is really the chart that, really charts the movement of assets, is a weekly chart. This is what William O'Neill recommends in Investor's Business Daily. So you do have these long, like doji with long wicks here, but we haven't seen a close. Like, what's the lowest close we've seen in quite some time? Is it like right around here, these closes? And even here, like at that 2250s, 2220s. So if I get a close down below those lines, that's when I'm going to be exiting the rest of my money. And if I get a close back above, I'll have to look at the daily chart for this one. I think I just showed you, but yeah, I mean, if it comes back up in here and closes above 2400, I'll be back thinking that it's going to retest highs, because anytime we had a close above that, like, was this one candle and it sold it back off. But like, well, we had a couple other closes and it sold those off too. So yeah, I mean, but I think if we get a close above this 2350, if we get another close higher than that, then it's like back in an uptrend on this little part here. Like this little part would then still be in an uptrend. And I would think pretty likely to go all the way back to 2600, like I said, or try to get closer to 2600 before maybe selling off again and going lower. Because literally, I do think this is going to be like a shoulder top right here. I don't know if that was already the shoulder top it put in, or if it's going to try to do it one more time, or if it's going to succeed. I really don't know what it's going to do. So, anyway, that's it. So, this one, I want to show you when I started buying TIA. This is TIA USD, and it's Celestia. It's on the Cosmos blockchain, and a lot of people have been buying this for the last year. Well, this fall, I would say it's done really, really well because of the um, staking rewards that you can get on Cosmos. So, I want to show you what happened when I sold my ETH. Was when this was right around when ETH peaked on January 14th. You can see at the bottom down here the date. January 14th was this is when I sold my ETH, and I kind of held the cash through this downswing. And then this started taking off. Then it came back down, and then I was still watching. These arrows indicate where I made purchases for Celestia. So if I zoom in here, this is every 4 hour chart. I believe I have it on. Yeah, 4 hour chart. So every candlestick is 4 hours of time. So this is again like the 14th when I um, sold my Ethereum, and Celestia and the altcoin market went down with Bitcoin and Ethereum. They both came down. This was the bottom. I started waiting, and on the 24th, this is the 24th, on the 26th is when I saw this kind of higher low, and then right here when it broke to a higher high, you can see my little green arrows for all the little purchases I started making on Celestia. And so it went up. I bought some more on this red candle. I bought some more on the next, return to this sort of level, and then went up some more, and I bought some more. So I did a DCA every day I bought a little bit. And then it came all the way down here today, and I bought a lot of little mini orders right here on this red candle. I started buying it at 1586. So the very bottom of this solid bar, the red candle, is right where I got in. And you can see it's come up since then. It's putting in long green bars and closing near the highs of the candle, so that's good. So I'm happy that I bought this down here. I didn't buy a lot, but I did add to my position, and I also sold more of my Ethereum in that other account I showed you. I sold some more Ethereum and Maker. So I kind of like what I sold over there is kind of what I had put in over here on this time, and then I made a little purchase, a little like 20% more basically of what I bought here. So, right now I'm probably slightly breaking even, maybe. I'm close to breaking even on my Celestia position, but I feel good, that I'm buying it after this trend line has clearly like been exploded up out of and it's continued, and now we found a lower bottom. I mean, a lower a higher support from here. It's gone like higher low, higher low. So, and these candles look good and strong right now. They look like I got in good purchases, and I should be probably secured from losing money on this purchase, as long as Ethereum and Bitcoin hold here and do well. Then the sales that I made on Ethereum and Maker today were already kind of acquired over here, and this is a higher beta asset, meaning it's more volatile, and it will be more volatile to the upside if they do well, and if they don't do well, I'll have to close out my position if it closes below this line, which is around 1582. And so I'm happy with the trade that I made. It was my plan to get a little bit more aggressive from Ethereum into these other stronger coins, AVAX, TIA, and Sol. But mostly I'm pretty heavy on TIA because of the staking rewards I can get. Um, and I think that they could do really well. We'll see. And I'm not really hoping one way or the other. But if it goes down, that's actually I'm happier about that because I'd like to be able to make more money and buy more crypto lower than it is now. But if it goes up, I think I'm well positioned for it. So anyway, you can kind of see where I got in my purchases with these little green arrows. I just wanted to show you that. And show you again. I did buy today when I saw it start coming up. I was in there buying it, and I was watching it close. And I almost was ready to sell it at one point. I was like, hand was on the trigger, but it didn't push me down lower than I was like ready to put a stop limit order in to close it out. But it didn't push down low enough, so I just kind of waited and waited, and it just started going up, and then boom, it like hit the 15-minute candle, which is kind of happening to this. We're 15 minutes. It's 6:45 p.m. So we're 15 minutes before the end of the hour. And if you look at these 15-minute candles, like it just finished the 15-minute candle. And so usually that's when these traders judge. Like this was a high close outside of this little range here, so that usually people will buy it. And it's this like little mini breakout that's happening here. And I think a lot of people kind of trading this were looking at this trend, going like, hey, this should if it's staying in line, this should sell right here. If it didn't, that's when it kind of busted up, and now we have this new trend going. So I'm pretty happy. You can kind of even see like a little mini reverse head and shoulders here on the 15 minute, where now it looks like we're going up. Although these things can change any time. Right now it looks good. So that's the update on my TIA purchases and reasoning for them. When I saw this kind of these two long bars here, I was like, okay, it's time to buy. Even though I wish I would have bought down here now, and I was watching it before, going, it looks like it's maybe like here, I was like, maybe I should do it. And then it exploded. I was like, yeah, okay, well, better late than never. And so, I could have just bought in here hard again and gotten that same price discount, but you don't always get another chance to come back. But the fact that it came down here again is actually more bearish than if it hadn't. So this is still dangerous. It could still, like take another zag down, and I'm just watching this like closer than normal because this TIA asset is not Ethereum. I can't just sit in this thing. It's not like no matter what, I'm confident Ethereum's going to do well in the long run. I'm actually trying to be pretty aggressive and get in here and make a good trade and see this thing go to, 25, $30. So anyway, that's the long short of the TIA trade.